Today I'll be answering a question that no one asked for and a question that some people ask themselves every day of their life. Which Minecraft mob could I realistically beat in a fight? I'm ranking whether I can realistically beat each Minecraft mob in a fight. So, the first tier is reserved for the weakest mobs that I would definitely beat in a fight. The next tier is mobs that I would have a 50-50 chance against, basically mobs that I would be equally matched against. The second highest tier are mobs that I could only beat with a weapon, and only a Minecraft weapon. So if I had one of the Minecraft weapons in the real world, a realistic version of a Minecraft bow, sword, crossbow, axe, no enchanted weapons, just a realistic sword or a realistic bow. And then the highest tier, of course, are mobs that would beat me even with a weapon. So obviously the Ender Dragon would probably be in that tier. Um, the mobs are in no particular order, so we'll start with the first one, a cow. So a cow is a animal that weighs over 1,000 pounds. There are some cows that weigh more than a Honda Civic. So the only chance there's no way I could beat a cow in hand-to-hand combat. The only way I could defeat a cow is if I had a ranged weapon, like a crossbow, which is a weapon that is provided in Minecraft. And if I had training with a real crossbow, I'm sure I could, defeat a cow. A chicken. A chicken is a small bird. I could easily defeat a chicken in hand-to-hand combat. uh, the sheep. It's a pretty large animal, but I don't know if I would necessarily need a weapon. There are some pretty small sheep. Most sheep weigh less than a human. They're not quite as strong as a fully grown adult human. I'd say I have a 50-50 chance against a sheep. A bat is a small flying mammal. Even though they can fly, and if you got a hold of a bat, the bat would not be able to, escape. Okay, cod. I mean, given the size of cod in Minecraft, even though a cod can swim a lot faster than a human, even if you fought a cod in the water, it's still a fish. I mean, it's not as big as a human, and it doesn't have any means to inflict sufficient damage to take down a human. So eventually, yeah, an average human could win in a fight against a cod. Next is the fox. Now, foxes have sharp teeth, and I don't think there's ever been a recorded instance of a fox taking down a human, but they can be pretty dangerous. If they bite you, they are capable of inflicting some pretty severe wounds. At the same time, a fox is a small animal. It's only around 1 or 2 feet long. So I'd put it in 50-50 chance along with the sheep. 50-50 chance in unarmed hand-to-hand combat. Now, an ocelot is a little bigger than a fox. It's Yeah, I don't think I could fight an ocelot. I don't think I could win against an ocelot in hand-to-hand combat. I think I would need a weapon. A pig. Now, surprisingly, this goes in the same tier with the cow and the ocelot, only with a weapon. Pigs can be pretty big. The average fully grown adult pig is far heavier than me, and wild pigs have tusks, and they could easily kill a human. If you shoot it with a crossbow, obviously it will you can take a pig down pretty easily. But if you try to fight a pig hand to hand, they're pretty strong. A snow golem. Now, a snow golem is it's a fictional creature made of snow with a pumpkin for a head, and its only attack is throwing snowballs, which in Minecraft don't cause any damage to the player, and in real life probably wouldn't cause much damage to a human. And because they're made of snow with a pumpkin for a head and sticks for arms, I would say I could probably win in unarmed combat against a snow golem. A rabbit, again, it's a small mammal. I would easily destroy a rabbit. Salmon, same tier as the other small animals. I mean, how much damage can a salmon inflict against a human? All right, a mushroom is basically a cow with mushrooms on it, so it goes in the same tier as the cow and the pig. It's a very large, very strong mammal, and the only way that a human of average strength could defeat a cow is with a ranged weapon, like a bow or a crossbow, which are provided in Minecraft. A squid. Going by the size of the squid in Minecraft, it's about the same size as the player, so I guess a little smaller. It's a squid slightly smaller than a human. If this fight was taking place on land, the squid wouldn't be able to do much. But if it was taking place in water, a squid could probably drown me. I'm not a very good swimmer, so I let's just assume that the battle is taking place in water because that would be necessary for the squid to actually have a fair fight. And I think if I had like a sword or something, maybe with a weapon. Uh, Actually, I forget what this mob is called. It's the one that walks around in lava in the Nether. In Minecraft, it isn't shown to have any ways of attacking the player. It doesn't appear very dangerous, but at the same time, it is as large as the player. So being an animal, assuming it's an animal in the real world, being the size of a human, I would say have a 50-50 chance. Tropical fish in the same tier as the other small, uh, not very dangerous animals. Turtle, yeah, turtle. I mean, snapping turtles can be dangerous. This is clearly a sea turtle, and even a weak human could defeat a sea turtle on land because they're not very fast and they don't have any. I'm not sure if a sea turtle has any sufficient attacks that could take down a human. On land, it's pretty much defenseless. In the water, could a sea turtle drown a human? I mean, it is a cold-blooded reptile, and it's not venomous, and it doesn't have teeth. I don't know. Assuming that the fight is in the water, I would say I have a 50-50 chance against a turtle. Okay, a villager. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be considering the strength of the villager as the same as like an adult human. So I would say have a 50-50 chance unarmed against a villager. And the wandering trader is the same. It's the size of the player. It's humanoid in shape. So I'm assuming it has the strength of an average human. Pufferfish. Now in the real world, pufferfish are poisonous. In Minecraft, they inflict a poison effect, but a pufferfish doesn't really have any attacks. In the real world, a real life pufferfish, unless you eat it or you grab the pufferfish with your bare hands. And yeah, I would say I could win against a pufferfish. They're pretty small, but I might get poisoned in the long run. Um, an axolotl is a real animal that lives in caves. It's not very dangerous. It doesn't have sharp teeth. I don't think it's poisonous. So yeah, an average human could easily take down an axolotl. The glow squid goes in the same tier as the regular squid. Now, donkey or mule again is a large hoofed mammal, which you probably couldn't take down in hand-to-hand combat, but could easily take down with a weapon. Same thing with the horse. Uh, the cat, I don't know. It's not. I feel like a human could win against a cat. Most people could defeat a cat if they really tried, but again, they do have claws and they can, sever, blood vessels and arteries if they bite you. And it is somewhat smaller than a fox. So I'll put it in. I would probably win, although it would be difficult. It would be difficult to muster the courage to fight a cat. And say whatever you will about my yeah, make fun of me all you want, but I mean, have you ever been bit by a cat? It's not pleasant. The parrot, it's a small bird, so I would definitely defeat a parrot. Okay, I think this is a donkey and this is a mule. So again, it's a large mammal, um, which weighs a lot more than a human and is faster and stronger than a human. So with a weapon. The skeleton horse. This one is interesting because the skeleton horse does not have vital organs or arteries or anything like that. But I guess it would make most sense to put it in the same tier as other large, large, powerful mammals. The allay. Now, I'm not sure if the allay is supposed to be a ghost. If in Minecraft you are able to damage the allay, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, given its size and the fact that it doesn't attack the player, I would say it would win against an allay. A dolphin. Yeah, if the again if the fight would have to take place in the water for it to be fair, and a dolphin is not only usually larger than a human, but also stronger than a human, and it swims. And yeah, a dolphin could easily drown a person. So the only way it could win against a dolphin is with like a harpoon or something. Unfortunately, there are no harpoons in Minecraft, but there are swords and there are bows and crossbows. Although I'm not sure if those work. Yeah, you'd probably have to shoot it from above the water. I would say it's possible to defeat for an average human to defeat a dolphin with a weapon. The polar bear. Now this is a very large, very dangerous mammal. Polar bears are actually known to hunt people. It's one of the only species of bear that actively hunts humans. And again, it is possible to kill a polar bear with a weapon. There are no guns in Minecraft, so I can't use a gun. But the Inuit and the indigenous people of the Arctic actually do. They have hunted polar bears in the past. They've been hunting polar bears for thousands of years, and they were before Western colonization. They were a Stone Age people, so they used weapons made out of not even iron, but weapons made out of stone and wood. So like bows and arrows and spears, which are things that exist in Minecraft. But bows and arrows exist in Minecraft, even crossbows, which are modern crossbows can be pretty powerful. So it is possible. I'm sure if I had enough training with a crossbow, I could shoot a polar bear. But yeah, there's no way that neither I nor any human can defeat a polar bear in unarmed combat. Like you're not fist fighting a polar bear. That's that's just goofy. A llama. I'm gonna put this in the same tier as other large mammals. It isn't that large, but it would be pretty hard to take down a llama with your bare hands. The panda. So pandas are also a pretty large mammal. They weigh more than the average human, and pandas have a pretty strong bite force. Even though they mostly eat bamboo, they still have they are technically carnivorans in the same family as other bears and other carnivorous mammals. One of the only carnivorans that doesn't eat meat, and they still have their sharp canine teeth, and they have a bite force which is capable of crushing human bones. So the only way you could defeat a panda, the only way I could defeat a panda is with a weapon. I don't think a person can fist fight a panda. Wolf. Um, this is interesting. I think I think historically there have been people that have been able to, basically barehanded, defeat wolves. I'm not sure that I'm one of those people. I think I don't think I would be able to. A wolf can weigh almost as much as a person, as a fully grown adult human. So there are probably some people. There are MMA fighters, boxers, like very strong, very large men who could probably take down a wolf in hand-to-hand combat. Not a pack of wolves, just a single wolf. But I am not one of those people. I think a wolf would probably defeat me unless I had a weapon. Bumblebee. Um, if the venom, I'm not allergic to bees, and if the venom in the stinger of the Minecraft bee is equivalent to the venom in the stinger of a bee from an actual bee, I would probably easily be able to defeat one. I don't like bees, but I'm not allergic to bee stings, and one sting is not fatal, and it is an insect, and they do die after they sting you. I mean, in the real world, Minecraft bees don't. Let's say that a Minecraft bee has the abilities of or has the anatomy of a wasp, and it can just repeatedly sting you, kind of like they do in Minecraft. You could still probably defeat it. It's a flying insect. Even a massive bee, even a bee that was the size of a Minecraft bee, you could probably still defeat it, considering that it's an insect and it isn't that big. The Iron Golem. Uh, this one is tough. I'm deliberating whether to put it in only with a weapon or they would win. Because an Iron Golem is made of iron, and it is incredibly strong. It can throw a player like, several blocks. So, yeah, I don't think that I could defeat. Yeah, an Iron Golem would defeat me even if I had any of the weapons provided in Minecraft. I don't think that a bow and arrow or a crossbow from from the real world could take down an iron a gigantic creature made entirely of iron. The goat. Goats are about the same size as sheep, but they have horns, and it would probably be there. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are skilled in combat who could who could defeat a goat barehanded. But again, I'm not one of those people. I'm yeah, I think I would probably need a weapon in order to take down a goat or a mountain goat, I guess. I think a regular farm goat, I would have a 50-50 chance of winning. All right, this is a spider, but it's not a real world spider. It's a giant Minecraft spider. So it's slightly smaller than the player, almost the size of the player, and it's a giant arachnid. So if such a creature could exist in the real world, and they wouldn't die of oxygen deprivation, since insects in the real world can't exceed a certain size. Right, that's why most insects are small. They don't have lungs. They breathe through little holes in their exoskeleton. Um, so yeah, that's why we don't have giant insects. Because Earth's oxygen levels are too low. But let's say the Earth had high enough oxygen levels to allow this giant monstrosity of an arachnid to exist. Yeah, if you try to fight one barehanded, I mean, the fact that it has fangs and the fact that it's as large as a human uh, would probably mean that you're not going to win unless you have a weapon. Same with the cave spider. Now, the Enderman, assuming that the Enderman is like a really, tall, lanky, magical humanoid, and it can be pierced by arrows or swords, I think it would be possible. They can teleport, but I think it would be possible if you can, avoid its attacks and hit it with enough strikes from a sword or an axe. I think it would be possible for an average human to take down an Enderman, but you would have to get lucky. Now the zombie pigman, it has basically the same stats as a human, given that it's humanoid and it's human sized. It's basically looks like the player, except it's a zombie pigman. Although this one is equipped with a sword, so depending on how skilled this undead creature is with a sword, I think you would have a fair chance of defeating it if you had both a sword and a shield, or if you shot it from long range with a bow or a crossbow. I mean, it's a humanoid creature, and it is susceptible to damage from weapons. So if you were to shoot it with a bow or a crossbow from range, it doesn't have any way to defend itself. The same goes for the piglin, or whatever this is called. Yeah, I think there's a piglins. Um, I'm forgetting the names of a lot of the. I've been playing Minecraft for like 10 years, and I don't even remember the names of all the mobs. I think this is the Evoker. Yeah, the Evoker is a magical humanoid. So I mean, it should have the same physical stats as a human. If it existed in the real world, it should have the same physical stats as a human, but it has magical powers and can summon you know, creatures to attack you. I would say you would have to get a very lucky shot with a bow or a crossbow, and you'd have to be very skilled. I don't I'm not sure if I could do it. You know, given enough training, I probably could if I snuck up on him and hit him from like a long enough range where he couldn't see me. But you know, it's a gamble. I don't think in the state that I'm in right now I could defeat one of these. But you know, let's just assume that I had like 1 month training with a bow or a crossbow. It's possible. I'm not saying uh I could defeat you know, one of these mobs, but it is a possibility. You know, it's not something that's, you know, completely out of the realm of reality. All right, this I think is the Vindicator, and yeah, the Vindicator I think, you know, wields an axe, so you would need a weapon, and it should have the same stats as a, you know, as a human, given that it's human sized and it's humanoid. Uh, all right, this the Pillager. The Pillager actually has a crossbow, so again, it's an armed humanoid. So you would have to be armed to, you know, to be able to defeat it. And even then, it's not a guarantee. The Ravager. This is this is a giant mammal, many times larger than a human, many times more powerful. But yeah, with a ranged weapon, I'm sure you could take it down. I mean, humans in you know, during the Ice Age in you know, in Siberia on the mammoth steppe used to hunt mammoths, right? People used to kill woolly rhino and giant elk and, you know, bison, which were many times larger than a human. You know, they would use atlatls and bows and arrows and other ranged weapons. So yeah, killing a very large four-legged mammal is not impossible. All right, well, I think these things are called vexes. It's a tiny, it's a tiny little ghost, you know, like angel creature with you know, with a sword. I think it would be, I mean, given if it was an actual ghost, then I there's no way I would win. Like if all of my strikes passed through it, it was like a, you know, like a hologram or something, but it could still hit me, then yeah, I would definitely lose. But given that you can hit it in Minecraft, I'm assuming you could also hit it in the real world, and also ghosts aren't real, so there's really nothing to compare this thing to. So I would say if you had a weapon and you got a lucky hit on it, it would be, you know, I probably could. And this isn't arrogance. I'm not saying that I could defeat any of these animals for sure. I'm saying it's possible if I had a weapon, one of the weapons provided in Minecraft, but you know, in the real world, it's a possibility. The what is it? Endermite. Yeah, this thing has. I'm not sure if it can attack the player. Yeah, again, I've been playing Minecraft for like 10 years, but I don't think I've ever been to the end. But I mostly played, you know, just to build things in survival and, you know, survive. But it is a small little slug-like creature, so yeah, I could easily, you know, I could probably step on it. All right, the uh, the Guardians. Yeah, these things induce mining fatigue. Also, I'm pretty sure they're made of like stone. They they're made of like those, you know, those sort of stones that you find in the ocean. And I think in the they're like, I'm not sure if it's been confirmed in like Minecraft lore, but I think they're not even actual animals. They're more like machines. Yeah, so I'm gonna move this to they would definitely win. I don't think even with a weapon, if the fight took place in the water, this thing, which, you know, is either made of stone or metal, and, you know, has the ability to induce mining fatigue, and also can attack you, and also can swim faster than you. I don't think I don't think any weapon would be able to penetrate it. Like a metal sword cannot penetrate stone, and usually can't penetrate, you know, like metal armor plating, and yeah, I don't see any way that you can or neither me nor any human can defeat a creature like this in the water. Yeah, the same with the where did it go? Ah, here it is. Same with the more powerful form of the guardian. Shulkers. Uh, yeah, shulkers have some pretty gnarly abilities. They can make you levitate, and they can also like shoot at you. But you can also hit them when when their shell comes apart. So I would say I have a 50-50 chance against a shulker. Okay, zombie is basically a it's a humanoid, so it should have the same stats as a human, and it doesn't have a weapon, and it doesn't follow the same rules as like zombies from like infection movies. It can't bite you and turn you into a zombie. It just fights you like a regular human, and it has the same stats and strength as a human. So I'm gonna put it in 50-50 chance. I'm not sure what these things. I think these are called strays, and yeah, they're armed. They have a bow, so the only possibility that I have of winning is with a weapon. The Phantom, it can fly, and it has some pretty gnarly attacks. Well, actually, no. It just like bumps into you and causes you to take damage. But I'm assuming that if this thing existed in the real world, it would have claws or teeth or something. So, and considering that it can fly and it's much larger than a bat or a bird, uh, I'm gonna put it in only with a weapon. Actually, no. Most flying animals are smaller and have a. Yeah, I feel like it would be too arrogant to move it into 50-50 chance. I mean, if it has the anatomy of a flying animal, like a real world animal, like a bird or a pterosaur, you could probably break its wings if you hit it. Even if you like punch it really hard, or if you grab one of its wings, you could incapacitate it. But uh, I don't know. Assuming it has the similar level of health that it does in Minecraft, and comparing that to the level of health that you as the player have, and then like scaling that to like a human in the real world, I'm gonna put it in only with a weapon. I could probably shoot one down, but uh, the blaze. A blaze is it's a monster made of fire that shoots fireballs at you. Like I yeah, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put the Blaze in. They would always win. I don't think it's possible with a. I mean, the Blaze doesn't even have like a body. It's just a bunch of floating blaze rods and a head, and it shoots fireballs at you. So yeah, I don't think I think I would be incinerated even coming close to a Blaze. The Creeper. Yeah, only with a weapon. Considering you can shoot a creeper from a long distance. Now the ghast the ghast has you can kill a ghast by shooting it with a bow or a crossbow, but I don't think I even with like a lot of training, I don't think I would have the skill to both shoot at the ghast and also avoid the exploding fireballs that it shoots at me. I mean, in the real world, like if if something exploded that close to you and had the ability to destroy Earth, basically, like when the fireballs of the ghast hit the ground and explode, they destroy Netherrack. So an explosion that powerful is essentially like a grenade, and I don't think you would be able to run from the explosion in time to avoid being hit with any shrapnel. So yeah, I don't think even with a weapon, I don't think I could realistically take down a ghast. The magma cube. This is well, it's self-explanatory. It's a cube made of magma. Considering that it's made of magma, I would probably be incinerated if I tried to fight it. Silverfish. Yeah, it's basically a large insect. It's about maybe 1 foot long, and it's not venomous. So I would probably I could stomp a silverfish. The skeleton. It's humanoid. It doesn't have any internal organs or arteries or blood vessels or probably a brain, but it it is humanoid in shape and it is armed. So I'm gonna say only with a weapon. The slime. Unlike the magma cube, this thing is not made of an extremely hot material that can incinerate you from even being close to it. Um, Considering that it's made of slime, I would say I have a 50-50 chance. I mean, it's pretty big. It could engulf me in slime, but at the same time, it is made of slime. You could probably like, tear chunks out of the slime until it like became small enough to where it wasn't a threat anymore. The zombie again is a humanoid with the same stats as a human. Oh yeah, and it's also unarmed. Yeah, so the same as the husk and the villager. The zombie villager again, it has the same stats as a human. It's as strong as a human, has the same health as a human. I don't know if it has the intelligence of a human, but you know, given that it's human-sized and humanoid in shape, and yeah, I would have a 50-50 chance against a zombie villager. The drowned. Now, this highly depends on whether the battle takes place in water and on land. I'm assuming that it's a two-legged humanoid. It's not like a fish creature. Let's assume, and the fact that they can survive on land. Let's assume the battle takes place on land. Yeah, given that it's unarmed, it's humanoid, it's the size of a human, and it has the same strength and health as a human. I'd say I have a 50-50 chance. Let's see. The wither skeleton. It's an armed humanoid, relatively humanoid mob, so it would go in. Only I could only defeat it with a weapon. Now the witch. The witch throws potions and it's humanoid. I'm assuming it has the same stats as a human, if it existed in the real world. But but it does throw potions, and I guess if you hit it from a long enough range, it would be possible. This tier list shouldn't be called "Could I defeat?" or whether I could defeat any of these mobs in Minecraft, but whether the average human could. Because I think I'm attributing traits to myself uh, that would be more applicable to just an average human or an average healthy human. You know, not someone who's like really elderly or really obese or someone who has a disability. Like just a healthy, relatively fit human. Um, the I think what is this called, a hoglin? Yeah, it's a large, powerful mammal. You would have no chance at defeating it in hand-to-hand combat. There's no way that any human could defeat a gigantic like boar without a weapon. But with a weapon, humans have a surprisingly deadly. Same with the zombie version. This what is it? These piglins with axes. They're humanoid and they have a weapon. The baby zombie. All right, this might be controversial since the baby zombie is in Minecraft is a notoriously deadly mob. Uh, since it's a lot faster than the zombie and has the same health and strength as a zombie. So it's actually more the baby zombies is actually more deadly than the adult zombie. But given the fact that it's the size of a toddler, If it and you know it's also humanoid. If it existed in the real world, it would probably have the strength of either a toddler or a very small person. So this might be controversial, but I'm gonna put it in. I would probably win. I mean, it is a humanoid. It can't infect you with a zombie virus, and it doesn't have sharp teeth. It doesn't have claws, and it's literally it has the same stats as a human, but scaled down. Since this is the real world, and it's the size of a toddler. It would be like fighting a tiny person. That's my logic. In Minecraft, they're incredibly deadly, but in real life, a tiny person with the same stats as a regular person, just scaled down to their actual anatomical ability, would yeah that would be pretty easy for an average healthy person to average healthy adult to fight. Um, the Wither. The Wither have I'm not sure. Okay, the Wither they can fly. They have a lot of health and they shoot explosive projectiles. I don't think I could defeat a Wither even with a weapon. Again, with the fact that the explosions from the projectiles can destroy large chunks of Earth. If if a creature could shoot explosive projectiles like that in real life, those would probably have the energy of actual grenades, and you probably wouldn't be able to escape from uh, either the shock waves or the shrapnel or whatever. The Ender Dragon, I would not win. The Ender Dragon would win every time. It's a giant dragon. Um, yeah, even with a weapon, I don't think I would be able to defeat a giant flying dragon that can shoot projectiles from its mouth. And uh, let's see, the tadpole. I would destroy a tadpole. I would feel bad for doing it, but because I like frog. Oh, and the frog as well. Uh, if I had to fight a frog in real life, I don't think the frog is gonna win. And now the last one is the warden. This is a tough one. The warden is quite a bit larger than a human. The warden is quite a bit larger than a human. It has some pretty powerful attacks. It has a ranged sonic attack. Uh, It's but it does have the anatomy of a human, and also it has this weird gap in its rib cage where it looks like it has these glowing internal organs exposed. So common sense is telling me that if this thing existed, and also considering that it's blind, common sense is telling me that if this thing existed in the real world, you could kill it with a ranged weapon like a bow or a crossbow. But at the same time, if it used its sonic attack, and given the amount of damage that can do to a player in Minecraft, if a creature could do that in the real world, it would probably incapacitate any human that was nearby. But assuming that it didn't, assuming that you were far enough away and you didn't make any noise, considering the fact that it's blind, and you hit it with, a crossbow bolt to the head or something, maybe with a weapon. So that concludes the list. Now, yeah, the mobs that it would be almost entirely impossible to defeat, even with one of the archaic style weapons offered in Minecraft, are the giant iron monster, the stone slash metal robot fish creature with powers, and its stronger variant. The flying fire monster that shoots flames at you, the flying monster that shoots explosive projectiles, the literal giant cube of magma, uh, another creature that is, flies around and shoots explosive projectiles, and a literal dragon. Now, a very large number of the mobs in Minecraft can be defeated by an average person with a medieval style weapon, which is kind of reassuring. The It's amazing to think how much deadlier a human being is with a simple weapon made of metal or even wood and stone, like like a stone tipped arrow, than they are just fighting with their bare hands. Fighting with your bare hands, the only mobs I can see a a human, having a fair fight against are mobs that literally have the same stats as an unarmed human with no weapons or armor. Uh, a slime, a sea turtle that just crawls around and doesn't really have any attacks. A small predatory mammal like a fox. A small domestic sheep, and a creature that again doesn't really have any attacks and moves pretty slowly when it isn't in lava. And yeah, yeah, and the only mobs that you would for sure 100%, 100% chance that you would beat in a fight are basically things that are extremely tiny, things that are incredibly weak. And yeah, go ahead and comment which ones you think I got right and which ones you think I got wrong. Which mobs do you think that you could beat in a fight?